Glasses. I don't know. Can you even see my eyeballs? No, probably not. Welcome to Road to 50 Million today. Today I want to talk about pain. Pain. There's all kinds of pain, internal pain. I woke up this morning with pain. Ooh, I had a headache. And I haven't had one for a while. I got a story about headaches. Probably bore you to death, so I won't tell it. Except for there's a lot of them. A lot of them. There used to be a lot of them. I had an interesting experience a few weeks ago. Went to San Francisco to participate in a trial, and I was hired as an expert witness. And this has to do with the old career that I had for 30 years, from 1977 to 2007. So someone in that industry was suing somebody else, and there was a trial, and I was hired as an expert witness. But anyway, bottom line was I went down there and disconnected sort of from everything for a week, kind of a week. Left Tuesday and came back Friday, so a short week, right? Got there early Tuesday, had time to do stuff. Wednesday, it was supposed to be Wednesday afternoon and Thursday morning, but the whole thing ended Wednesday, so we had all day Thursday to just be. And then we left Friday at a reasonable time. Didn't have to get up at 3 in the morning to do it. So the travel was easy. The expert witness stuff, for me, for some that might be hard, but there was not a ton of prep, because I was extremely familiar with the material and subject matter, and so it was simple and non-stressful. Anyway, here's the thing. I have had headaches a lot, and I attribute it, and this could be wrong, right? Sometimes I've wondered if I had a tumor in my head or something. But anyway, I've had headaches a lot over the last years, and I attributed it to my ruined sinuses. It's always dry and the struggle of, sinuses. So I always imagined that it was a sinus headache. And I, regularly used a neti pot and washed my nose out and did all kinds of stuff to try to alleviate that. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. But what I noticed, and my wife, my beautiful angel, glory, hallelujah wife, always said that it was tension headaches. And I objected to that conceptually, because I thought, I'm not tense. I'm excited. I'm wound up in terms of doing stuff, but I didn't feel tension. And I thought she was diligently trying to help me understand that maybe it had to do with just the pace of things. And when we went to San Francisco, everything was turned off. I didn't have a single call. I didn't have a single other conversation. I was just there to do the testimony, and then to be with Joy as we played around the city for Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday night, and then all day Thursday, and Friday morning getting ready to leave. And I noticed two things. One is I felt very relaxed, and two, I didn't have any even hint of this headache. So then I thought, okay, she's probably right. There's something there. And so when we got home, we made a deal. We were going to try to recreate that, or continue, I guess is better, continue that approach to things. So I've examined my schedule again, and I live a packed schedule, not because I have to, but because I have my road to 50 million. I'm committed to helping 50 million people to discover and serve with their gifts. And I thought, okay, since I'm trying different things on this road to 50 million, I'm going to try a different approach here, because having and then mitigating headaches, either through meditation, or I have been for much of my life a heavy ibuprofen user back in the martial arts days, and, skiing, sort of high-powered skiing, snowboarding stuff. I hurt myself too often, and especially during martial arts, ton of ibuprofen. So then she started thinking, well, maybe there's, that's causing some gastric problems. And she's fabulous with all the naturo, this, that, and the other. And I'm grateful for it. I don't downplay it one molecule. But anyway, what I decided was, she's probably right, change the pace, change the approach. And I've noticed that since we got home from San Francisco, very, very little. So like 90% improvement in that thing. So what that led me to do today in talking about Road to 50 Million and discovering and serving with your gifts is this. One gift that I have is a gift of interviewing. And I had a client this morning talk to me about an interview that I had just done a couple of weeks ago, where she commented on it, that the interview is good and everything else, but she commented specifically on my presence there, my ability to just be in the interview and have it be spontaneous in the moment, powerful, et cetera, et cetera. And it was funny because I told her that just yesterday I did another interview with another person. And at the end of that interview, when we were done, that person said, we were off the camera, that it was so powerful and said all kinds of nice things about me and whatever. And I thought, so that's a gift. And I've been told that a lot of times, that I have the gift of drawing people out and making them comfortable to talk. And I guess that what makes me the, ultimate alchemist is I allow people, invite people, create safety for people to talk. And then I reflected on some sentences in my PTAC to talk about that. But my point is this. No matter what is going on in our lives, there's always opportunity for growth. So I've changed how I think about my daily activities. I've changed the pace more in my mind than anything else. And isn't that interesting? Because the pace before was, I got to get this done. Not for anyone else. This was me. I got to reach 50 million. And I had the story that 50 million, in order to do that, I had to do all these things. And I've got podcast interviews and guests. I'm a guest. I was a guest last night on a show, and I'm a guest a couple more this week and several next week. And all of it is to get to reach 50 million, to love you, to encourage you, to serve with your gifts, to find them, to have confidence in yourself, and all the rest. And my excitement in doing that had leveled to a place where it was tension. Oh, I got to hurry. And this is stuff I was putting on myself because nobody else had those feelings, right? And so adjusting my attitude about that has reduced my own headaches 90%. Now, this morning, the reason today's called pain is because this morning I woke up and I had a headache. And I did some meditation and did my PTAC, Personal Truth and Commitment. If you don't know what that is, I refer to that a lot. You should ask me about my PTAC, because it's probably the most powerful, liberating document in the universe. For me, it reminds me who I am. It winds me up. It gets me fired up to talk to you and to coach clients and to help and to write books and everything that I do. But anyway, so I recite my PTAC, which is memorized. But sometimes, and this morning included, it was slow and examining it one little piece at a time, glorious thoughts and feelings in each part. And it was very valuable and then helped me change. And then I was doing some exercises on the floor. And lately I've been doing some martial arts stretches and some push-ups and things. And today I decided to do upside-down push-ups. I call them that. I don't know what they really are, where you lay on the floor on your back and you push up, so you're upside down and trying to do push-ups. Now, I haven't done those for a while, and so I don't know. It's a function of being old, 67. That's not old yet, but middle-aged anyway. It was hard. It was hard. And I thought, okay, I need to do these for a few weeks now because that muscle is like atrophied or worn down or whatever, and I like my back to be really limber. I mean, I can bend over and touch, my feet on the face to my knees and my hands flat on the floor and all that stuff. And so I decided, I need to do these things. But one of the things that happened is it was a sharp pain in my head. Ooh, right? Kind of in there. And I thought, oh dear, this is not good. So then that brought me to the subject of pain. Pain. I had bad pain this morning. It derailed me for a bit until I did some internal work to clear it out. And that brought me back to the San Francisco game and how I'm thinking about things. And I realized that last night and this morning I had sort of amped up my, I got to get this done. And again, it's not because I need anything, because I don't, but it's my commitment to reach 50 million. And it had moved to a place where it was causing me physical pain. So my invitation to you today about pain is this. There's physical pain, like I have in my head. It's funny because when I do the martial arts stretches, I used to, splits both ways, sideways, front, back, and everything else. Now I'm just working to get back there. I haven't returned to that since the experience in 2018 when I was in a coma for, in the hospital for a month, in a coma for 17 days and all that stuff. That trashed my body, and I'm still working on getting back. But it's coming, and I can feel that. So there's that pain, stretching pain, and careful not to, rip anything, and all the rest. So there's the physical aspect. And then there's this emotional aspect when someone hurts you or insults you or makes you feel bad or ignores you or all that. And then there's the self-inflicted emotional pain where we are telling ourselves we're not good enough, we can't make this happen, it's too late, nobody will listen, nobody cares, I'm not worth anything, whatever version of that you have. And I want to talk about that for today and maybe some more episodes because it's a big deal. We have another pain that's part of that emotional thing that comes from fear. Fear. I'm afraid I'll get laughed at. I'm afraid I'll fail. I'm afraid I'll do my best and flop. I'm afraid all that prosperity and possibility talk belongs to somebody but not me. Right? We live in that place of anybody but me. I can't really do this. And we live perpetually having to remind ourselves over and over again, and sometimes we call that doing the work. And when I talk to a client about work that they're doing, and sometimes they'll say, well, I do the work, I always ask, what is that work? Not because I don't think they know, but because I want to keep it front and center. Because you know what the work is? Besides Byron Katie's steps, there's the work, and that's beautiful work. The work is reminding yourself who you are. Let's just be really simple and clear. You are the universe. You are God in embryo. You are a son or daughter of the Almighty. You are an intentional, loving, purposeful creation that the divine keeps track of, minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. Now, I have no clue how that's possible for 8 billion people on the earth, and maybe there's a billion earths like this all over the place of the creation of the divine. So it's an unfathomable number of people, but if you assume perfection and everything else and almightiness, then just assume that happens. I used to think I'm not important, I'm not good enough, it matter who knows, nobody knows where I am and everything else. I can tell you from the depths of my heart, I've learned that's not true. I was rescued from the most extreme circumstances. And if you haven't read that story, maybe it'll interest you. It's in the book Tightrope of Depression, my journey from darkness, despair, and death to light, love, and life. And it talks about my decades in depression and my addictions and all the rest, all the struggles, but about the rescue, invitation. And so no matter how you're feeling, what pain you have, the pain in your heart, the self-inflicted pain of doubt about yourself, about your worth, about your capability, about your opportunity, or the pain that comes from others saying stuff and then we accept that. Because what somebody else says doesn't count unless and until we take it in and we buy it and we give it a chair, invite it to come in and sit down on the stage of our hearts. When we do that, then the words, ideas, thoughts, criticisms, offhand comments, lack of comments, and everything else of others come right in and take center stage and kick us around on the floor. That may be the habit you have. It certainly was the habit I had because I desperately craved and needed outside affirmation. And everything I did during those years was something to make me matter. I call that M cubed, M with a little 3 up there, M cubed, because I needed that. I needed to matter. I needed somebody else to tell me I mattered. And, the way we hear that is in lots of ways. Get paid a lot of money, get a lot of recognition, get awards, get selected for this, that, and the other. But it was all about getting that external validation, approval, etc. The truth, and you already know this, is that doesn't last very long. It only lasts as long as the lights are on and the noise is being made and the clapping. Or it lasts as long as the money. And then it's like, oh, where's the next fix? And so that pain of loneliness, emptiness, or needing external validation is just like a drug. You got to have another fix and another fix and another fix. Or however, needles or snorting or whatever you take your drugs. Hopefully none anymore. For me, it's none. And so that's another reason I thought always that I had these sinus problems is because for the years of cocaine massive abuse, I destroyed my inside sinuses and perforated septum and just all kinds of disaster inside. But anyway, and so I attributed a lot of sinus pain to that. But wherever your pain is required. You will have pain. Suffering, which is the continued experience of pain or allowing pain to control your life, is optional. Now, you've probably heard that before, maybe a zillion times. Do you dig into that? Do you know that's true? And if you know that suffering is optional, are there places where you are suffering where you can stop? Because that suffering prevents you from living your ultimate life. It prevents you from discovering and serving with your gifts. You can use the pain and suffering you've had in the past to inform you, to refine you, to make you more powerful as a speaker, a coach, a parent, a companion, a partner, or any other thing. It can refine and lift you, but only if you let it and only if you seek that refinement. Because it can also make you bitter, vicious, frustrated, and all the rest. It's our choice what we get to do. Now, my goal here on my road to 50 million is to help 50 million people discover their gifts and to choose to serve with them. That's how we're happiest. That's how we're built. It's also how you can build business and make the most money and have more fun doing it than anything in the universe. Imagine serving furiously with the gifts you have and what you love to do and getting paid well. That is not only possible, but it is the best use of your time here in the world. Amazing. So why don't we do that? Well, I don't know. Maybe you already are. But if you're not fully serving with your divine gifts, I'm inviting you in. If I can help you do that, that is my mission. I'm helping 50 million people. I've got all kinds of conversation and programs and tools to help you do it, to discover and serve with your gifts. Don't let pain or suffering get in your way anymore at all. Stop now. Love yourself. I'll see you tomorrow on the road to 50 million.